There needs to be a course on pet management in World of Warcraft because of things like this. PvP pet battle in Twin Peaks. Yes, it is a ghoul versus a water elemental. It is the undead versus the source of life, water. Who shall win? Place your bets, place your bets, place your bets. Of course it's the Death Knight's pet. Did you even have to think about it? I was just thinking the other day, how cool would it be if I could kill James Bond in a BG? I don't know. I have a lot of time on my hands, and these are the kind of things I often think about. And essentially, this guy here, Daniel Craig. Speaking of James Bond, now I have to kill him. I just have to take this guy out one way or another. Even if I die, even if the EFC runs by me with like 3 health, I have to kill James Bond. It is a must. Will it happen? Of course it's going to happen. Otherwise this clip doesn't exist. But of course he puts up a hell of a fight. And Shadowware Death, thank you for playing. Warsong Gulch, looking to peel from my flag carrier, and what I notice here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm getting support. There's about 2 or 3 other Alliance players here helping our flag carrier. We get the cap, and I kind of feel bad for this druid, this feral druid, because he's doing what he should be doing, and he's not getting any support whatsoever. And, I mean, this is just par for the course when it comes to any given battleground nowadays. You know, sometimes you're on the right side of it, sometimes you're on the wrong side of it. Hopefully, in the end, it all works out. So he dies for a heroic cause. He has like 3 people chasing him down. So I kind of did feel bad for him, but this guy, I don't really feel bad for. This other druid who has a very different approach to things. So he's trying to enter the Alliance base. A, he's a druid, he should be stealth, but he's not. B, he decides that he's going to hide in the wall. Now, what's amazing is that this actually sort of kind of works for him. This kind of strategy is not something I'd recommend, hiding in the wall. And it's always funny when somebody does something stupid in a battleground. You usually have 2 or 3 people, one of them probably usually me, following up and doing something stupid. So that little trick that he used there, I don't know how it worked, but there's some kind of bug and he got out of that mess. It really drives me nuts when things or mechanics in game, combat systems, don't really work like they really should, like they're intended to, like they're designed to. And there's always some sort of intervening, I don't know what the deal is, but we're just at the start of this battleground and watch what happens. Someone saps that dude, that DK, on his mount. He's walking around, he has the sap on, and he is not stationary. He is mobile with the sap on him. He has the sap on him. You can't talk to me about DRs. This is the start of a battleground, and yet he's prancing around with a sap on him. This is ridiculous. This drives me crazy. So I decide to really hammer home the point. So now he's kind of hiding, which is hard for a Tauren and a monster mount to do. And I sap him again, and he's walking around with the sap again. No, this is not DRs. This is the start of the battleground. This is design flaw. This is some sort of bug. This drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. The question is, am I dead, sleeping, or searching the floor for a secret passage to Orgrimmar? I don't know what the answer is. No, it's pretty simple. You see, I suddenly decided that killing the Horde or killing red things is racist against the color red, so I'm protesting. No, the reality is I am dead. And sometimes I gotta say, when you just have one of those teams that you get the sense that they are playing with a seeing eye dog at the keyboard, you just kind of just give up. You just give up, and it's very, very frustrating. You could try to maybe have a few converts and sell a few people on, hey, let's go get the guy with the flag. That's part of the objective. But no. So I don't know. I just kind of gave up. Sorry. Hey, I'm human like the rest of us. I make mistakes. Sometimes you just get a sense that your team is just not getting it. Just doesn't get it. This is one of the things that really makes Aldrich Valley fun. knockbacks on this bridge. That's a hell of a lot of fun. But this is one of the prime advantages that the Alliance do have in this particular battleground. As you can see, that is a massive, massive knockback. And I'm not the only hunter out there popping these knockbacks. There's at least one or two others. There's an Ellie Shaman who's just really, really popping some big AoE damage. This is a lot of fun. This is when 40-mans are fun. This is kind of reminiscent of old school AV. This is one of the elements, I should say, of it. Not look at all these knockbacks, and they're not even coming from me, to be honest. They're coming from other hunters. There's a few other hunters around here at this choke point. This is a very natural choke point. All you have to do is just knock people off this bridge, and you can protect those last two nodes. And even if you just have about a third of your team going after Drek, this is how you could win this battle. This is why Alliance has held an advantage for such a long time, although that gap has been narrowing of late. Now, going forward into Battle for Azeroth, I wanted to use this clip to talk about the 40-man queues that are going to be introduced. Obviously, no new battlegrounds as of yet. You can have AV, you can have IOC, and Ian has a Clueless, or Ian has a Clueless, I think that's his name. Anyway, he was talking about perhaps introducing new 40-man BGs, or reworked, retooled 40-man BGs, such as Asheran, everybody's favorite. Another one would be Tol Barad. Another one would be Wintergrasp. Let me know your thoughts on that. I mentioned that once or twice before. But I think that that would really add a new element to WoW, an element that might get more people involved in PvP. Right now, if you queue for a 40-man, you only have 2 battlegrounds to queue for, but if you add in these other battlegrounds, it might be something compelling. And lore-wise, you could even make a case for Tol Barad to come back just simply because of its locale. It's right near Kul Tiras. So just geography-based, it's probably a good addition. I'll be straightforward. Tol Barad wasn't one of my favorites, but I'd like to see more 40-man BGs. I'd like to see the potential of a new Wintergrasp, or maybe even a reworked Strand of the Ancients, or maybe even a whole new 40-man battleground. If it's going to get more people interested in PvP, I'm all for it, and I think that this is one of the more fun elements of PvP, just knocking people off the bridge. I just love that utility aspect, that intrinsic think outside the box aspect, that you could just knock people off this bridge, use this bridge as a choke point, using the environment to your advantage. I really like this kind of strategy. I really like this kind of gameplay. Let me know your thoughts. I just wanted to showcase this clip with all these massive knockbacks, majority of which weren't coming from me, to be honest, but it's still really, in my opinion, very interesting, very fun, very compelling gameplay, especially if you're on the right side of things. One pretty accurate way of telling if your team sucks is if they just completely ignore objectives and fundamentals and the easiest thing to do, like these two boneheads right here. Yes, they're boneheads. You don't ride by a node and just leave it uncapped at the beginning of a battleground. You don't do it. Okay, I get it. You don't want to stand there and guard it. Just cap it and move on. And if somebody starts complaining that you're not watching it, then guess what? Tell them to stop complaining and watch it themselves. But at least cap the goddamn base. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this means that a solid at least 10 or 12 people rode right by, ignored the objective, ignored the fundamental, except for this guy. Except for this guy. I love this guy. This guy's, I want him as a BattleNet buddy. Look at him, he's so cool, he capped. I know, this is an old clip, but it's a good one. It really is a good one. For those of you who really just don't believe that I never get healed in a battleground, and I mean, when I say never, I mean never. I don't even get healed out of combat in a battleground, okay? And I know that this particular paladin is not AFK, and because he's moving, maybe he's a bot, I doubt that too, but I almost feel like he's laughing at me. He knows that I have no health, and he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He's just excited about his beard. He looks over at me like, dude, you should do something about your health. Yeah, like maybe you could have a team mentality and heal me, because, yeah, okay, I could have some food or whatever. But the reality is there's no mage catering. No mage catering available at the beginning of the battleground. And from what I understand, from what I've read on the forums, mana buns really put a lot of weight on you. And I need to be lean and mean as a demon hunter. I mean, guys, this is just facts. This is just facts. Heal me, for God's sakes. If you're out of combat, just freaking heal me. visibility in Arathi Blizzard is about 0. So I really can't blame this BM Hunter for what's about to happen, but this is really, really funny. We're trying to retake stables, and my buddy over there, Failed Wizard, is right by the flag where he's supposed to be. And there's a BM Hunter who's kind of like his shadow, who's right next to him, and he doesn't see the guy capping. He does not see Failed Wizard capping stables. Instead, he's just 100% focused on me. You see, Failed Wizard's capping the flag, and the guy who's named after a wine, because he probably really likes wine and drank a little too much wine. But let's face it, you really can't see anything in this muck, so I can't really blame the guy. But it's just kind of funny that he caps right under the guy's nose, and he doesn't even see. He's just like 100% focused on me. Even his dinosaur is like on me. He thinks I'm wine. Anyway, we take stables. That's the way it goes. Lions like stables, right? So anyway, if anybody wants to see more Noob PVP videos, well, you could click on either one of these 2 links. We got tons of noobs, tons of noobs. This is Luxeley saying whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, if it's afternoon, or it's night. I don't know what it is, but I do know you better make it epic. It's the moment that counts.